We are live. Hello, everyone. We are live on our second webinar for BIG3. We will be answering your questions today and giving you some tips for your application to BIG3 for build, ignite, or growth. Oh, one sec. I'm listening to myself right there. We are here today with Sergio Montero. He is our scouting manager. He's looking for startups all around the world. Hello, Sergio. Thank you for being here. And we are here with Manuel Garcia. He's a business developer. He will be helping you with your startup and all the process of acceleration. And my name is Amparo. I'm in charge of the social media and digital marketing, and I will be reading your questions and kind of guiding this whole webinar. We are going to get started with a little presentation that Sergio and Manuel have for us. They will be reviewing all the topics that you need to know for your application and all the questions you have, and giving you some tips. That's really important one. Sergio has prepared some really good tips for you. And later we will be answering your questions that I left on Instagram. I left a little box of questions. So if you want to go there and put your questions in there, we'll be happy to answer them. Also here in the YouTube chat, we have a little chat right here. You can put all your questions right there and we will be reading them. Okay, so let's get started, Sergio. Take it away.
Okay. Thank you, Amparo. I'm going to share my screen right now. So tell me if you can see it. Okay, no, that's part, no, over here.
I
Perfect.
see it. Perfect.
Perfect. So welcome to our let me, I get confused with the button presentation. Okay, right now. Welcome to our webinar to explain a little bit more about the Startup Chile programs. We are going to not really deep into details about the requirements or the terms and conditions. We are going to open this session for clarifying some doubts or questions that you have. And remember that the application process are going to close and the deadline will be on the 2nd of November. So take it away, Manuel. You can start right now.
Thank you, Sergio and Amparo. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this second webinar of Startup Chile with BIG3 application. So yeah, let's start. Yeah, that one. Thank you, Sergio. So guys, what are we looking for in the startups that we accelerate in this program? We have 4 main features. The first one is that your project, your startup, must to be tech-based. What do we mean by tech-based? We are not looking for entrepreneurs or a startup that told us like, hey, I have an Instagram account, I use G Suite, I have a Gmail, I have like Facebook, social media. No, that's not tech-based. That's not what we are looking for. We're looking for technology startups that their main feature is, for example, machine learning, artificial intelligence, like that, guys. Okay, like a marketplace where you can know your customer and their trends and what to offer to them, for example. The second feature or second pillar that we're looking for is innovation. Okay, this is a really general word, but for innovation, we mean that we are looking for something that to add to your business that make really good value proposition for your product or service. That we are looking for some new ideas, something like when we read the application form, we say like, whoa, this is really new, it's really innovative, that we are looking for that. Okay. The third main pillar is the scalability. Okay. The idea in Startup Chile is we support startups that are able to grow to another market. Okay, for example, a SaaS, software as a service, that is really scalable, and you can go to another market, for example, to Argentina, to another countries to grow your product or service. Okay, And the last but not least pillar is the impact that you generate here in the country. For example, we are looking for entrepreneurs that are able to give jobs here in the country. That is really an economic impact for us, for the economy of Chile. Okay. So the next slide is about, we are agnostic to industries. What do we mean by this? Is we are not agnostic to everything. Like we receive startups that are based in fintech, in legal tech, insurtech. Right now in BIG2, this generation, this batch, we have art tech is an NFT where you can sell art, for example, digital art. So really, we don't care your industry; it's all welcome. And in the other hand, we are also agnostics in nationalities. Okay, here in Startup Chile, we have people from all over the world. Like for example, of course, we have Chilean people, but as well we have our people from Argentina, from Peru, from Brazil, Europe, Asia, and so on. So if you are from another country, you are really welcome to come to Chile. Yeah, so Startup Chile has 11 years since 2010. And during these 11 years, we have received people from 88 different countries. Okay, for example, from Israel, from the whole continent of Africa, Asia, Jamaica, United States, Canada, so like from everywhere in the world. And the next slide, Sergio is going to explain us what about our 3 programs, Build, Ignite, and Grow. Go on, Sergio.
Thank you, Manuel. So first, before to start to explain a little bit more, about our programs, we're going to have a session in Spanish at 4 p.m. So don't worry if you don't understand right now what we are saying. You can have access to this same webinar at 4 p.m. only in Spanish. Let's move on. First of all our programs are concentrated in one application process that calls BIG, that is referring to our programs. First of all, we have the build program that are for a startup that are from a concept stage to developing a prototype. And they are looking to reach that MVP where the startup can validate, have a more commercial validation of their business. We have also the Ignite program that is for a startup that have some commercial validation or just an MVP and wants to reach the product market fit. And also we have the growth program that is for startups are in a are scaling in sales or are trying to reach other markets in other regions. If we divide our programs in the life of a startup, our programs looks like this in a lifetime of any business. At the beginning, of course, we have the build program from the idea to the prototyping of their solution. We have also the Ignite program that is from a prototype or an MVP, and finally to reach the product market fit for scaling sales. And the program is for a startup that wants to reach other markets in the region and all over the globe. So first of all, we have the Build program. This is a pre-acceleration a program for early stage startup, as I said before, from concepts to the prototype of their solution or technology. And at least 50% of this cohort, of each cohort of this program, we propose ourselves to support a startup that have a female founders in their business. So if you are a founder, a female founder if you are a female founder that are trying to develop in their idea, this is the ideal program for you. So as I said before, we support this kind of the startup that are in early stage, from an idea or a validate idea to an early stage prototype. We offer a 4 month of program, an acceleration program. We support 2 cohorts per year, up to 40 to 50 startup each one. And also we offer equity-free funding of around $13,000. And also, if you have a really good performance during the program, you can access to an extension of another $6,000. The criteria to qualify to the build program is, first of all, the team leader that is this person or these founders that is the counterpart between the business and Startup Chile must have more than 18 years old. Also, this person must have an exclusive dedication to the startup, or at least those founders needs to have full-time dedication at the beginning of the program acceleration. Also, the company must be tech-based with a scalable solution, as Manuel said. And also the company must be created less than 1 year from the commercial validation of their solution. For example, having their first market approaches, having meetings with potential clients, launch their website or social media, etc. The team leader has also needs to also settle down in Chile, at least throughout the whole duration of the program acceleration, for go to the mandatory activities and also to spend the entire grant. And also, if you win the extension, you must stay in Chile to spend the whole money, typically for another 3 months more. Also, the team leader cannot be changed after the application is completed, so be aware of this and make sure that you choose the right person, because this will be cannot be changed when we sign the contract. We sign the contract for giving this funding. And also, I'm going to repeat during the whole presentation, read the terms and conditions into details. It's very important because this will be the structure between Startup Chile and your business for giving this funding in the future. We also have the Ignite program, that is a celebration program for startups that have for a startup that have a functional product in an early validation. And is for and the main goal for this program is to reach the product market fit. We offer a 4 months of program acceleration, and we support 2 cohorts per year, up to 30 and 40 startup each. And also we offer equity-free funding of around $32,000, and you can access also to an extension of $32,000 more if you have a really good performance during these months. The criteria to qualify to the Ignite program, as I said before, the team leader must have 18 years old, also needs to have an exclusive dedication to the startup, or at least at the beginning of the program acceleration, the startup must have at least a functional product or service or an MVP you will available in the application for to show it. The teams need to be complementary, it needs to have complementary skills, and this will increase your chance to being selected in this program. We are not believing in superheroes. We believe in really good quality teams with good qualities. And also, the company must have less than 3 years since their commercial validation. As I said before, when they started their market approaches, interview potential clients, and so on. The team leader must settle down throughout the entire program acceleration and or until to spend the entire grant, typically around 5 months. And if you win the extension, you must stay in Chile to also spend the whole grant. Typically another 7 months more. And also the team leader cannot be changed after the application is completed, and also read again the and conditions. Finally, our growth program is for startups that are scaling sales or wants to consolidate their expansion. We offer a program of 8 months. We support 2 cohorts per year from 50 up to 18 startups per cohort. And also we offer an equity-free funding of $97,000, $97,000. Sorry about that. And also this is dedicated for a startup that have sales in the last 12 months between $100,000 and $1 million. Also, the team leader must have at least the 10% of the equity in the business. And also this requirement it also applies for the Ignite and Build program, so be aware of that. The team leader must have an exclusive dedication to the program and company. And also the team leader must stay in Chile during the whole process. And we are looking for companies that want to scale to Chile and also to reach other markets in Latin America. Our programs also have a transversal initiative that called Female Founder Factor. As I said before, we want more female founders or female entrepreneurs that wants to reach and also to have a better business in the future. So we have this initiative that wants to collaborate in their environment and also in their development. To building a community, to have a special academy for this female founder, also an acceleration program with a female representation from the old ecosystem, also a wide range of possibilities from the Chilean ecosystem and the international ecosystem to support female founders, and also really good exposure through our media processes. So that's it for now. I mean, I want to leave you with Manuel to explain a little bit more about our offer.
Thank you, Sergio. Very clear. So guys, now I'm going to talk you about our offer. Why are we an accelerator? So the first pillar is our resources. So as we are a public accelerator from the Chilean government, we are equity-free funding. Okay, so that means we don't take the shares of your company. It's totally free. So the money that we give to you as a personal natural person or as a company, it's free. Okay, you don't have to do anything like give us a portion of your shares. It's not like that. Okay. We also have a free co-work space here in downtown Santiago. It's a co-work Latam company. It's really good to come to the co-work. In fact, Sergio and I and Amparo, we are here in the co-working space, and it's totally free. You don't have to pay anything to use this co-work during your program. And of course, we have exclusive perk deals that we are going to explain to you later in another webinar or once you are in the program. The second pillar is the acceleration process. Here we have the subboards or platoons that depends on the program that you are applying. For example, if you are selected in Ignite, you are going to have 3 board sessions with 3 mentors, especially selected for your startups. Okay, and if you are applying to Build, you're going to have 3 platoon sessions between your partners, between your suppers. That's how we call here in Startup Chile. If you are applying to the growth program, you are having 3 advisory meetups that it's similar to the board session. You are also going to have 3 mentors, especially for you. We also offer the Sub Academy each Friday or Thursday. It depends on the availability of the speaker. That we have different topics like sales, branding, building teams, and so on. So it's not mandatory, those academies, but it's a really good perk. And of course, we have office hour with everyone in the staff, with the marketing department, operations, acceleration, expansion, and community and partners. So you are going to have access to our calendars to ask for our office hours. And of course, with another experts like the mentors. And the pitch training, we have 2 pitch training weeks here in the program, where you are going to present your pitch, and there are going to be people from the staff trying to getting your pitch better. For example, it's only 3 minutes, and in what concentrate more on your problem, on your solution, the market, and so on. The third pillar, it's about the connections. We have a lot of companies, and that's the corporate connections. A lot of venture capital firms in Chile and in the region, connections with universities, the government, and of course, I told you before, the mentors. The fourth pillar is the fourth pillar is the soft landing in Chile. That when you come to the country, we give you 1-year work visa. This is the visa tech for entrepreneurs that come from outside Chile. And we also accompany you throughout the process, like where you have to go to go to the civil registration to having your root number. This root number, it's like the social security number in the US, for example. And of course, the opportunity to open a bank account here in the country. We have a pair with one specific bank that it's available to open a bank to the entrepreneurs that come outside the country. The last pillar is really important, is our community of startups and entrepreneurs. Like I told you before, Startup Chile was born in 2010. So we have, since that year, more than 2,000 startups and 5,000 entrepreneurs that have come to the country to explore the country and, of course, scale the startup to the region. And why Chile, Sergio? I don't know if you can tell us why come to the country? Why come to a country that is only 20 million people?
Excellent. It's a good question, Manuel. So right now, we're going to talk about why Chile and why this country will be suitable for your business. First of all, Chile is an excellent lab for prototyping and validating your business. You can access to a wide range of possibility to start your business and then to reach to other markets. Also, we are leaders in Latin America in digital connectivity, especially in internet infrastructure and also to the smartphone adoption in our population. Our policies also strongly support entrepreneurship. Apart from Startup Chile, that is a public policy from the government, from the Ministry of Economy, we also have from Corfo a wide range of fundings for support early stage ventures. Also, we have significant global commercial agreements with, for example, Mercosur in Latin America, also free trade with United States, China, the European Union, for example, and other countries around the world. And also, we are considered the first place where you can reach the Latin American market in the region. So you can access to a really good soft landing initiative when you can start your business here in Chile, and then you can reach to another countries in the region. Also, it's very important to give you tips for handling your application process legally, of course. So first of all, I want to talk about the application form. You need to go straight to the points and you need to answer our question. Sometimes there are some applicants that tell the whole story and go into details, deep into details sometimes. So go straight to the point, explain very well our question, and be aware of that to reveal the main information of your business. Second, explain a specific problem. Sometimes there are some entrepreneurs that explain a problem that, for example, they cannot explain. If they can explain the measure about the problem or something like that, and needs to be a specific problem because sometimes we are worried about the the macro perspective of the problem, and sometimes we didn't aware, and sometimes there's some occasion that the startup don't explain very into details the problems and what, for example, is the main issues in regard to this. For example, there's time that your client is losing right now, or there's money that your client or user are losing right now. What is the main gap between of your client to solve this problem, and so on. So be more specific in that part. Also, the traction makes the difference between a good or a bad company. Sometimes, and also for the build applicants, of course, there is no traction like sales or something like that, but you need to explain very well what are the biggest milestones that you have been achieving since you are applied to Startup Chile. For example, market approaches, interviews with potential clients is very valuable for us to check your application. Also, your business always has competitors. Sometimes there are some startups that say that says, for example, that their solution is not available in the market and you don't have competitors. That could be a lie, because there's right now there are some solutions that trying to solve the same problem that your business are trying to solve. So it's very important that you can explain the solutions that your clients are using for solving a problem as your specific problem, and also to explain the main difference between your solution and your competitors. Also, the scalability needs to be a part of the DNA of your startup. And it doesn't mean about the technology. Sometimes we see some startup that, for example, have a really good component of a really important, relevant component of R&D process, like hardware or biotech initiatives. But this is reflected in your business model. You need to explain very well how you're going to scale your product with a suitable business model for your client. And also, finally, you need to explain why Chile and Latin America is suitable for your business. Sometimes there are some applicants that said, I don't know, I want to visit our famous tourism places, for example, and that is not really a good reason for come to Chile or use our program to come to Chile and to reach the Latin American market. You need to explain into details why Chile is really important for you and your business to achieve the next milestone, to, for example, to scale or something like that. So makes a right research, a market research in Chile and also Latin America, and why you need to explain why you want to use our program for come to Chile and achieve your next milestones. So finally, remember that we are in we have opened our application process. This will be open until the 2nd of November, and we are going to give the results in the mid of January. And also the programs for Build and Ignite and Growth will start at the beginning of March. So be aware of this, apply to Startup Chile, and also we are waiting for your application, guys. Any doubts that you have, we have an email that is hello@startupchile.com. So be aware of that. Read and take time for review your application process, and we hope that you can apply as soon as possible.
Thank you, Sergio and Manuel. That was a really great presentations and some awesome tips for everyone, Sergio. Yes, again, reminding you that on the 2nd of November is the last day that you can apply. It's until, I think, 3 p.m., Sergio? maybe you just said it.
Yes.
So
yes.
don't leave it for the last minute, because we see so many applications coming through at the last second that don't do that. Yeah. And the results are in January. They are on January 14th. So stay tuned for that. We will be answering your questions right now. I think this is the part that you most wanted to see. And we are getting started with a question from Instagram that says, can you explain the intellectual property item, please? Sergio, if you can answer that.
Yes, perfect. I mean, we have some questions in regards to explain the intellectual property. It's really important that you can explain, for example, you have, as I said before, a startup with a technology with a relevant component of R&D process. So in that case, the intellectual property is to explain how you're going to protect, for example, your invention for other competitors. So over there, you can explain if you have an intellectual property, or if you don't have how are the process for that. So you can explain into details in that question about in regards to that part. Mm-hmm.
Perfect, thank you. So it says for build, we incorporated our company 18 months ago, but we just started 3 months ago. So they settled the thing 18 months ago, but they just started. Should they apply as an individual or what? I
mean, you can apply as an individual or as a natural person. So in that case, we are going to consider your application or the years or the life of your business since your commercial validation. And in the case, if you are applying as a juridic person, I don't know how to say that in English. If you are applying as a company, as a company established in Chile, we are going to take care about the moment from when your company established here in Chile and have, for example, an incorporation in the internal services, in revenue services.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Manuel, this is for you. So it says, they want some tips with the phone question. Describe the traction or validation that your startup has had. Should I tell more about the results or just the activities in the form?
That's a really good question. I think you guys should talk about your roadmap. That means how you started, how is your idea started with your team, and what are the main highlights of the product or service. Like how many clients do you have, how many sales, and do you have social media, do you have a landing page, do you have this software, it's your property, or are you the owner of the technology, or it's an external people, like a third person that is doing this. So the traction, guys, it's like a timeline where you explain how your idea was born and how you are now highlighting these events.
Mm-hmm.
I want to complement the answer. We also have a question in regards to your unique economics. That means that you can explain in some part of the main result with specific indexes that your business has. For example, the customer acquisition cost, for example, or the lifetime value are really good to share in your application form.
Mm-hmm. So Cristobal asks, what type of reasons would be valid for the beneficiary to skip the attendance to the events described in the budget? So Cristobal already wants to skip the activities.
I mean, we have mandatory activities. First of all, so you need to attend them to all of them. There's some optative or optative initiative. For example, as I said, as Manuel said before, a workshop or something like that. But you need to go to all the mandatory mandatory activities, and this, if you skip some of them, some of these activities, that will be a reason for end our contract between your startup and our and Startup Chile to finish the project between us.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would like to add something to that question. And guys, as Sergio said in the presentation, remember that you have to be full-time here in Startup Chile. The team leader in the application must be a person that is completely working in the startup, 100% on it. Okay, so we are not going to select you if you tell us that you are working, you are a freelance in another company. So that's why we have too many activities for the team leader and of course the rest of the team. But for the team leader, it's 100% attendance to these mandatory events.
Perfect. So Max says, greetings from Texas. Hello, Max. And Katerina says, hey guys, we're an established European startup in EdTech. We would like to apply for one of the Startup Chile programs with a specific product for Latin America. We have tested this product, got traction for it, already developing partnerships and preparing to scale it. How should we then categorize our case? How should we? Oh, she has a long question.
Yeah.
Do you want to answer that? And then,
yeah. Yes. It's a quick answer. I mean, we are supporting emerging companies. As I said before, we not support, for example, big companies or large-scale companies that wants to have a subproduct of innovation and want to use the program for that. We have in Chile other programs that dedicate for that. So you can take care. You can, I don't know, investigate about it. But right now, Startup Chile is supporting only emerging companies, and that's you need to apply to our programs. For example, in regards the requirements that with the requirements that we need to ask for every acceleration program.
Yeah, they keep asking. I mean, it's a long question. They say they are a 5-year-old company. Could they apply as an individual, maybe, with a different project? Because they do say it's a different project for Latin America.
Ah, perfect. Okay, so in that reason, you can apply as a natural person, because if you come from it, this is a tip for every foreign company. You don't need to be it's not necessary to be established here in Chile to apply to Startup Chile. If you don't have your company here in Chile, you can apply as a natural person, and in that case, you can for answering the question, you can use the status of a natural person to apply and come to Chile for establish your company here and to scale to other countries. Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Yep. Andrew asks, maybe you can answer this one, Manuel. Not sure which industry should I choose for the marketplace related with a funeral home industry. They could be retail, wholesales, consumer products, e-commerce, so many. Thank you. What do you think?
And correct me if I'm wrong, Sergio, but you can select in Charlie in the application form your industry and your sub-industry in this category. So for example, if you're a marketplace, we're going to ask you which kind of marketplace. It's a retail, it's construction, it depends. We have a lot of options that you can choose between the list that is in the application form in Charlie.
That is a really good answer, Manuel. Also, we have a question dedicated to specify for specifying the technology behind your business. For example, if it's a physical product, a non-physical product, is it a software, is it a service? You can specify it in your application form.
Perfect. Hector asks, hi, I'm interested in the build program. We incorporated, oh, I already answered that one. Sorry. How COVID is affecting, sorry, Hector. How COVID is affecting the activities of the program? Are they taking place only online?
That is a really good question. Of course, the context of the pandemic affected our process, some of our process. So depending on the situation, that, for example, whenever the boundaries are open here in Chile or closed, we can adapt our program acceleration and the funding to receive and the process to receive this funding, depending on the context. Right now, consider the context of Chile, you need to come to Chile and settle down to the whole during the whole program. So it's really important that you can be aware of this, but depending on the context, we can manage that in any situation right now. And depending on your situation or your specific situation, we can see what can happen in the future. But the main message that I want to say is you need to come to Chile for receive this funding. It's really important for us, and it's mandatory for any foreign entrepreneur.
That's right. Just a reminder that we have only around 5 minutes left. So if you want to leave your questions, now is the time. Okay. Andrew asks, what characteristics should the person making the recommendation have for the recommendation letter?
Sorry, for what did you say?
For the recommendation letters, like what should the
Perfect.
person making the recommendation be?
I don't know if you want to add something, Emmanuel. I think it will be idea, but my recommendation is that this person needs to be something close to your business. For example, an investor or a mentor, for example, or if you have already passed if you all have already passed through another acceleration program, you can, I don't know, have a reference from their staff, for example, or a client. It could be an ideal person for that section. This also needs to be my tip. This person needs to be close, and also through this letter needs to demonstrate that they know you, and also they can they can assure that you are a good applicant for our programs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for that, I would like to add, we sometimes see recommendation letters from teachers, for example, from your former boss, for example, and saying that you are a really good professional, that you are capable of doing these things, that, for example, your teacher from the thesis in your university, that it also works. And in the best cases, if this person works in some startup or scale up, or they come from the innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem, is even better. But really, it's important, but it's not the most important thing in the application form, guys.
Mm-hmm. Jean-Pierre says, is there any way entirely to complete the application in a collaborative way? Invite other co-founders, for example, to fill the application.
That is a good question. I mean, right now, you need to share your credential for makes a collaboration process for making this for apply to Startup Chile. But we are going to have this feedback for the future. I think that we can improve it for the next time.
Right, it's excellent. We have 2 more questions before we go. Just as a reminder, oh, Christian just deleted his question. You can come back, Christian, at 4 p.m. for our webinar in Spanish, okay? So if anyone wants to see the webinar again in Spanish with Macarena Valdivieso and Nicolas Vega from our team, you're more than welcome to come back to this YouTube channel. So as last question, I will ask, what is the most important part of the application? Is it the market, the idea, the execution? What is it?
I think that really depends on the person that is reading your application form. But for example, for me personally, it's really important your team. Who are they? who is the team leader, who are your team members, how you guys met, where do you met, and I don't know, your education, your careers, your professions, what are your motivations to come to the country, why Chile is a really good question for us. Guys, if one of you are Chilean, don't answer because I live here, okay? Because that's not a really good answer. For the people that come for foreigners, explain really well why Chile is interesting for you, for your startup. So for me personally, it's really important to explain the team, the problem and the solution, and why Chile. I don't know, Sergio, if you have something.
I mean, Manuel explained very well, the team is a relevant component of your application form. Be aware of that. You can deep into details over there, explain your backgrounds and so on, because that means a good signal for us during the selection processes. Also, be aware to explain very well your other question. For example, the problem that you want to face, the solution, how scalable is your solution, for example, the main differentiation with other competitors. Also, the traction, for example, it's also depending on the program that you are applying right now. If you are applying, for example, to the BIG program, probably we are not going to be so much aware about for example, the traction. It's really important. If you have any milestones or something like that that you have accomplished, mention it. You can mention, but for example, in that program, we are focused more in what you want to build for the build program, the teams behind of this initiative, and so on. For the Ignite program, we are looking for a really good quality of your MVP, for example, or if you have any sales or validation, the teams behind of this, and also in the growth program, we are looking to really high quality startup, but but we are looking also for a startup that have the ambitions to scale to scale in a short period. So, for example, reaching clients, or just go to another country. So you need to explain very well why you want to do, for example, that program, the growth program, for your scaling process.
That's right. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much, Manuel and Sergio, for answering the questions and giving us some amazing tips. Our next webinar will be on October 28th. That's in a week, and it will be the same thing. It's first in English, then in Spanish. So if you have any more questions before sending your application, please come back. We will be here, same channel, same time, same day. It's on Thursday as well. And you have until November 2nd to finish your application and sending it to us. Please join us at 4 p.m. So we will be doing the same webinar in Spanish with Magdalena and Nicolas. That's it. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you in a little bit. Okay.